Hi, good morning, everybody. Hope things has been nice and dandy for everybody. The last one day of presentations. Hope everyone's still able to absorb new information. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I'll give you a little bit of background of JustLogin. Before I go on to talk about a little bit about how we digitize HR in this era, new normal, right? Let's Okay, so I have just a little background myself. I've been in this software as a service industry for about 20 years, in HR software for the last 10 years. So all in all, in during this situation with COVID, I've already almost 20 years of working experience is in a remote condition, right? I'll be working for other companies, Silicon Valley companies. So I've always seen how tech has helped businesses, and how the foreign companies has adopted technology to deal with all this remote working experience. I mean, a lot of high tech firms have already been doing remote working long before COVID hit. So I was one of those privileged employees that's always been remote, and I've always been dealing with headquarters through a remote setup, self and running. So this gives me a lot of experience when we were implementing a remote. So for us, JustLogin ourselves, we have been working from home since we have actually 30% of the team is really working from home since a couple of years back. So we have remote staff working from home in different countries like Philippines, in Myanmar. So in that sense, we really baked that setup into our company operations. And we also encourage work from home for our employees. So I think what I'm trying to drive at here is that all this experience about running an organization virtually through the cloud has really I've personally seen a lot of benefits. And today I'd like to share with everyone how a cloud platform HR software will be able to save and will be able to optimize your organization, especially going forward in this new normal. So let's explain a little bit about JustLogin. We are quite new in the Malaysian market. So we have not been in the Malaysian market for too long. I mean, for us, we have been mostly in the Singapore market, but as of this year, we are expanding into the Malaysian market. So JustLogin is a cloud-based HR software. Let me hold on a minute. I think I need to share something. Hold on. That's right. All right, cool. So we have been in business for 20 years, and we have seen how this HR tech software has evolved over the last 20 years. And hopefully today I'll share with you how our customers has been able to deal with the challenges of their businesses, and as well as optimize their business with our cloud-based platform. So for our platform itself, we have won a couple of awards over the years as Best HRMS Software, Best Payroll Software by Human Resource Magazine, a regional publication. So we have been rated by industry as one of the best software for the HR on the cloud. As of today, we have close to 2,000 clients, businesses as small as 1 to 2 users to businesses that's big as 1,000 users. So we have seen how these businesses has evolved over years. Some businesses have grown from 20 to a few hundred, but they are exactly on the same platform. They have not changed another platform. We've seen them grow through our system, and our system functions have increased with their usage, with feedback from these customers. So if you're looking for HR cloud software, rest assured, we have dealt with 95%, at least 90+% of the challenges that you SMEs or companies have faced through the years, and we understand that we should be able to cater to quite a bit of your HR requirements. So let's talk a little bit about this new workforce outlook, right? I mean, this COVID has put a lot of things in perspective. A lot of new new ways of working. You got to understand that the whole workforce has really changed significantly. First of all, you got to understand that the workforce is going to be increasingly dispersed. We're hearing straight away startups on day one immediately they are MNCs. It means I could, a founder could be from Malaysia, then he has a co-founder that's based out maybe in Singapore, a developer based out in India, and this could be a three first employees. And so these companies on day one are already used to a virtual office setup and all remote working. And this is very common nowadays. So we're going to see this as more and more new normal. This will be the new normal going forward. A lot of companies will be a dispersed workforce all throughout the world, all throughout the region, all throughout the company. So you will not be like the work from previous years where you expect everybody to be in office from 9 to 6, 9 to 5, and you have the visibility of them. It won't be the same anymore. The second thing will be is that this new workforce environment that you see, it will be a mix between part-timers and gig workers and so forth. With this, Grab coming in, Food Panda, all these gig jobs are popping up left, right, center. Companies will do the same. Eventually, a company's structure will be a mix between gig, contract work, part-time work, half-day work, paid by hours, paid by time, paid by task. It's going to be a mixture of all these kind of employee workforce mix. So how is your HR going to cater to all that? How is your HR system going to cater to all them? Because they're not going to be paid the same way. Lastly, you're dealing with a more tech-savvy workforce now. I mean, some research have shown, I would say that at least 50% of workforce for the millennial, they're basically born in the 80s, all right? And they have grown up with the internet. By the time they are in the teenager years, they are already in MySpace, Facebook, all these mobile phones, tablets. They're very used to this mobile workforce virtual experience. So you're going to get a very different mix. 50% of stuff, right, will be those born for the 80s and beyond. So you got to understand that they are no longer like the baby boomers, which more traditional. They like to deal with paper, more manual tasks, use the old tech, not comfortable with new one. You're going to get a bigger chunk of your workforce being more younger and more savvy with technology. So how do you deal with them? Right? You can't just give them the same process that you dealt with 20 years ago. You have to innovate your internal systems to cater to this group of people. Otherwise, you will not be able to retain them. Imagine not being able to retain 50% of your workforce. That's a very expensive thought. So So let's take a look at what are the few challenges that most companies, SMEs face, right? First, number one is that, as explained before, now that everyone is a remote workforce arrangement, you're going to have a case whereby it's very poor workforce visibility. So without a proper system in place, you will not be able to see if employees are working, right? Uh, Maybe they are, especially those time-based employees or non-results oriented employees, administration employees. You will not be able to see what they're doing if they're all working remotely. Did they create 3 spreadsheets versus 4? You won't be able to see for sure. Next thing to look at is the risk of too much admin work. If it's a lot of check and balance, you're going to create a lot of admin work. That means, today you need to fill in a timesheet. You need to email your leave application, get approval application. All this manual process will create a lot of challenges within the organization just to manage those manual processes. There's also a lot of compliance risk, right? Because what if you overpay or underpay your salaries? Employees could easily complain to the government, right? And then from then on, the ministries will start coming down at you. If you did a fair wage payment, if you're paying on time, you're going to deal with a lot of these issues that's totally unnecessary. Lastly, with without a proper system in place, you're going to have all these poor employee experience. Employees, companies are facing this experience whereby employees come in, they don't like the system they use, they'll leave. So you think about it, is that with this poor workforce visibility, right? 88% of the workforce, based on some survey that we've seen, is that they do not want to return to the office full time. It's like after COVID, things have changed. You go interview an employee, they really enjoy working from home. I don't need to deal with 2 hours of traffic, right? I don't need to, I'll be able to look after my children when they're ill, right? I'm able to spend more time maybe cooking for my family. So these are thoughts that's going through employees' mind now after 2 years of experiencing work from home. and especially this COVID thing. So you'll find that the employees will be asking for more such requests. And if you being a business owner and you detect that your employees needs to come back, probably after a while you'll find that they won't retain it, because this will easily be an incentive that other competitors could offer to the employees and say, who's more efficient, who's better at it, can say, here, this is a benefit, they come join my company. Before you know it, it's fine if you find it no, your HR attrition is going to be a pain that you're going to have to manage, because if you don't provide this as a proper benefit to your employee. And one thing to consider as well is that 59% of HR managers spends half the day, okay, 60% of the time doing a lot of manual work that can actually be automated. That's a lot, right? Imagine half the day in the morning, I'm just dealing with admin work that could be easily be automated. Think about the number of hours saved if you have just be able to spend some time automating certain tasks that are repetitive, right? Checking of leave forms, for example, or checking of time sheets. These are all very manual. If they are not automated, they take a long time to process manually. Try and look through hours on the spreadsheet, on the number digital. It's just very painful. No matter how you automate it through Excel, it will always be a pain to manage it. So there's one area to consider, right? A lot of your HR processes are actually quite tedious if they're not automated. Next thing to look at here is that, look, based on the EPF Act 1991, you could face up to a fine of 20,000 ringgit imprisonment, okay? That if you fail to pay the EPS properly. Why take that risk? Imagine this is what just one employee. Try to think about it. What if there's many employees that just because of a HR mistake, a manual process mistake, it's a mistake. You carry through this risk with you in your organization, which is totally unnecessary. And right now, a lot of cloud self solutions are actually pretty affordable. They don't even need to take on this risk at all, right? It's just like buying insurance against such potential breaches. Next thing to look at is that you're going to have a very unhappy workforce, right? With an unhappy workforce who doesn't like to use the system you use, they find it tedious, they find that I'm spending so much time manually, you're not going to get a very productive workforce, right? And there was a decrease of your productivity, your performance, you prevent your company from moving forward. If they are just spending their time, their hours, if every day I had to spend 3 hours just to do manual tasks before I can get any real work done, yeah, you'll find that by the half day is gone, you will feel that you will have very little energy to do real proper work. That's totally a waste of your internal resources, as HR gets more and more expensive nowadays. So how can we help digitize your business process? Let's think about it, right? How can we, as a system, our company will be able to help you? First of all, with a cloud-based HR platform, you will have a very centralized view of your HR team, right? Of your HR processes. You will be able to see on the cloud-based environment. You will be able to, uh, check in anytime, anywhere, process payroll anytime, anywhere, check employee movement, leave, whether they have to clock in. All these could be centralized in the cloud-based platform, which you as a manager or you as a owner of the business will be able to see in real time. Now, you can't get better than this. This allows you to make real-time decisions, allows you to react faster to your business. It saves you a lot of time and money too, because you don't need to spend hours calling people, calling your staff, following up, checking in, doing a lot of check-ins, because the system does all this for you. You'll be assured that things will remain compliant, and it will improve your employee satisfaction. You'll find that your employees will have a much more favorable experience, and when they deal with administration things within the organization, right? Admin stuff like filing for expenses, doing my leave application. It will make the whole employee a lot more productive, and they'll feel that the company takes care of them, right? Now, this is a company, a customer of ours that's been with us for the last almost 10 years plus, right? Owndays is a eyewear company that's expanding regionally. They're with us, and they grew from a couple of employees in Singapore to now close to several hundred employees, and they'll be using our application on the same platform since. Let's take a look at what they say.
Working our own days is a unique experience for employees. We have a transparent and open culture, and we try to keep communication line flowing between all levels of our staff structure. Our shop manager and area manager are selected by election, so it is voting by staff and not based on level of education or length of service, so everyone has a fair opportunity to lead. When Owndays first expanded to Singapore, there weren't yet any HR specialists on board to clarify or manage benefit and entitlements. Our HR division was soon formed and got right to work cultivating the same corporate value shared by all Owndays divisions. Fair work-life balance, benefit, and giving a chance to those who aspire to achieve more. But in order to take care of the people, first we had to cut down on the paperwork. When the new HR team started, the system in place wouldn't getting the job done the way we needed them to. For example, payroll was manually processed, making it tedious and time-consuming. Leave entitlement were unclear and not standardized. Time and attendance were tracked with a punch card machine, with employee physically traveling to the office to submit timesheet. So much time wasted. And then we found JustLogin. With Just Payroll, we shortened our payroll process from 1 week to 2 days. Everyone has a smartphone these days, so our employees just log into the mobile app to check their payslip. With Just Leave, they can check leave entitlement and apply leave from their mobile phone too. And JustClock is so simple. Employees just clock in and out directly through iPad at every one of our retail outlets. No more traveling required to collect all the employee timesheet from our 26 outlets in Singapore. As a retail business, our employees play a vital role in representing our brand, so it is important to us that they are well trained and feel valued by the company. JustLogin allows our HR staff to focus on what matters, our people. Now we can focus on priorities like employee engagement, internal training, improving staff benefit instead of wasting time on paperwork. With JustLogin, employee satisfaction is high, our customer service consistently exceeds expectations, and we grow to 26 locations in Singapore. JustLogin isn't just good at what they do, JustLogin makes us better at what we do.
So what do we envision this new, now with all these new employees coming in, right? All these, let me just skip this. With all these new mobile devices coming in, we actually envision a new kind of way which employees will need to work going forward, right? Employees will be working in this virtual experience where actually they deal with a lot of administration tasks via the mobile phone. Now let's take a look at what this will potentially look like in a real setup. So you can see that with this, to cater to the millennials and how you only deal with them, nowadays you don't really speak to them anymore, you have to WhatsApp them, right? So with this situation, we've built a mobile app that's basically all the HR functions that you potentially need is in a mobile app itself. You can access pay slips on the go. So if no longer you chase out the admin, oh, if let's say you're applying for a bank loan and I need my past pay slips, you can actually download it from your mobile app, right? You can actually manage your leave from the mobile app. You can apply for leave, check your leave balances, approve leaves that your employees hub has sent you, or so all these is done on the mobile device. They don't even need to log in on the internet. Okay, clock in, clock out is also done on the mobile phone, right? And as well as expense claims, we have a AI engine that allows you to do receipt recognition. So you recognize the receipt, the amount that needs to fill in, pre-fill certain data sets. So when it comes to even filing expenses, it's going to be a very pleasant employee experience. And all this on a mobile app and on your phone. So employees now, you have remote workforce. There's no excuse for them not to access HR functions anywhere on the planet, actually. So that is something that you want to consider when you automate your internal processes. HR being a very key function here. Of course, for the administrators, if you're running payroll administrators and so forth, everything else is on the cloud, right? More complex features that you probably can't do on a mobile device is on a web-based environment where you will be able to run your payroll, look at EPF numbers, all these on your mobile phone. On the cloud-based browser. So anytime you just need to flip open, you can able to um, configure the system to suit your requirements as well, right? You will be able to configure it to, for example, if you change in process, all this is all configurable. There's no real customization needed. It's all kind of tick and boxes that you can configure the system to suit your requirement. So now that we have come pretty much halfway through COVID, right? I mean, now there's new wave talking, everyone's worried about a new wave, but nevertheless, with vaccination in place, there's eventually COVID will end, right? So with this new COVID ending, what we should be looking at is how you're gonna start creating an environment where employees will be able to come to work in a much safer setup. And we have actually built a new, I would say, kiosk, a tablet that you're able to do temperature scanning, it will do facial recognition, and as well allow you to clock in all through one device. Now let's take a look at what this looks like.
SafeClock is an all-in-one contactless temperature scanner, door access, visitor management, and employee attendance solution to help you transition your employees back to the workplace safely. Employees can clock in and out of work daily via facial recognition. The timings and temperatures are automatically captured in a split second and sent into your online portal in real time. The device detects high temperatures and will send administrators an alert via email or push notification if any employee is running a fever. SafeClock can also protect your workplace by acting as a door access. You can configure access based on registered faces, body temperature, and even detection of masks. Employees' clock timings on the device will be reflected in attendance reports to track working hours and overtime. SafeClock is also integrated back to JustLogin's full suite of HR applications, allowing you to seamlessly manage employee payroll, leave, attendance, and expenses, even when you work from home. In Singapore, you can also integrate your work premises safe entry into SafeClock. Automatically check in the safe entry when you walk through the door. You can also integrate a QR code, be it for the purpose of safe entry, MySejahtera, Leave Home Safe, or any tracing system your country is using. SafeClock also works as a visitor management system for a seamless visitor experience. Visitors can simply scan a QR code to submit their safe entry information. SafeClock will then send you a push notification on your mobile app where you can easily use it to open the door for visitors remotely. The visitors' information are collected for contact tracing purposes so that you can always keep track of who visited your office. Clock in to work safely with SafeClock by JustLogin.
So with this SafeClock device that we have built and we are now shipping, it's like you will be able to have an all-in-one device. Not only keep tracks of an employee coming in and coming into office, it also opens the door in the office, right? You can configure it all through the cloud. You can use it to track visitor management as well, and then track all anybody goes in and out, for reporting purposes. And it does temperature scanning as well. So this all-in-one devices also connects to your clock in, clock out, so you can do things like doing your timesheets and all that. It's all connected so that you, for hourly wages workers, this information is captured without them having to clock in twice. So think about this as being a more integrated solution, given the new normal that we have to cater for, with every employee starting to come in, you're doing a lot of temperature scanning. This will be a way to provide a safe environment for your employees, right? So as of today, we have JustLogin, we have spent quite a bit of time integrating with a lot of systems out there. So we understand that you will not be able to cater to everything that's going on in the marketplace. We're not able to build accounting software, but so we work with a lot of partners like Xero, for example, and we integrate to their Xero platform. So when we've done a payroll in JustLogin, you actually can send the payroll information into Xero, right? So similarly, you can do that for QuickBooks, Oracle. We also integrate with other credit card systems, so you can actually pay your employees through credit card. It was also linked to performance management as well, right? So you can send employee information, do a single login with a performance management system to do performance management for your employees. So all these is really catered for, and we will be expanding this ecosystem so that in the future your platform it's going to be, our platform is going to be robust enough to cater to different sort of requirements that your organization might have. So as of today, we have quite a comprehensive suite of solutions. Not only just to cater to leave, payroll, time and attendance, we also cater to expense. We also basically, this is gives you a whole suite of functionalities to cater to the majority of the HR requirements. So if you're interested to find out more about JustLogin, please feel free to answer the following poll that we're going to put up in a few seconds. Is that a poll?
Oh, sorry, no poll.
Okay, no worries. So if there's, given that if you need more information from us, we also have created many webinars that's pre-recorded, like today's session. Similarly, we have done many webinars on our own that we recorded, and we have partners with many companies, like even like Xero, other tech firms as well. Feel free to check out our JustLogin webinars page, and from there you can see past resources, past webinars that we have done, that maybe you can get some insights of what other industry players are saying about how to handle your employees in different aspects of HR as well. Now let's, if you're interested to have a further discussion with us, feel free to email us, scan this QR code, fill in the details, or you can call us directly at this following phone numbers, and we will try to get back to you with more information. So I hope it was an educational journey today for everybody. So giving you a little insight of what's out there, what kind of solutions are able to help your business, help you optimize your business, and hope to talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Over to you, Lauren.
All right, thanks. Super cool, you guys. So if you enjoyed his presentation, let's give him a virtual round of applause in the chat box right now. And of course, we have a question that just came in. Let's go quick to that. Oh, there you go. Thought you left me for a moment there. Okay, so the question is there any module for e-attendance, for example, outside the office or working from home?
So is there a module for? Yes, there is. So essentially, when you think about the mobile app itself, you will notice that the mobile app has GPS coordinates, right? So you can actually clock in and clock out from work or from from home if you need to. So today I'm starting work now. Go into my mobile app, click clocking in, start work, do your work, clock out. What will happen is that when they do these two actions, the GPS coordinates will actually be sent to our system on the cloud, and then it will capture the time in, and then when they get out there, GPS will clock out. So you'll find that it'll be very interesting if the coordinates have moved, right? Because we overlaid over Google Maps. So imagine they're clocking in Klang, but then they're clocking out in KL. How does that work, right? So these are the few things that you can cater to. So yes, we are able to cater to e-attendance outside or from office, and you also can geo-log log the area which is supposed to work. So for example, you say that, okay, I only allow them clocking within this circumference of on Google Maps. We'll put it overlay geofencing, and then they can only clock in those particular areas. So you can do this kind of restrictions on the system itself.
No, it's super cool. Okay, so this one is from Kit. Now, Kit has a very good question here. I'm pretty sure, it might not have crossed our minds, but thanks for bringing it up. So, Kit says, good morning, Mr. Chan. How will SafeClock work during a blackout?
Okay, good question, right? Well, the thing is that, so, if there's a blackout, that means what happens is that the power will probably be disconnected, right? Right now, the device has to be connected to a power source, of course, but in the fact is that if you're able to provide a backup power source, and if there's a blackout, um, there won't be an issue, because information that is already, it's actually, most of it is processed on the device itself. So the facial recognition, all this, we actually sync new employee faces into the device. So it's actually, so even there's no internet, you will be able to still do clock in clock, because the facial recognition is done on device with the data that's in device, and any clock in particulars is actually stored in the machine first before it's connected to the internet, and then syncs back in. So during a blackout, it still works as long as you provide reliable power source. Yeah.
All right. And of course, just to add on to this, I was watching the video just now, and they mentioned that you can actually let visitors into your building remotely, correct? Does that mean that the visitors also have to have, like, how does that work? Because the video said that it would capture their details and all that. So, could you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah. So what will happen is this. We have modified the application further. So let's say if the person is clocking in and it's not a registered user on the system, that means the device can recognize you. You prompt up that you are a visitor, and it will prompt you to fill in the details that you want, right? And if you actually link to a door access system, that means what will happen is that, oh, I'm looking for Ali, right, for example, and Ali's right now is in office or somewhere. What will happen is that you trigger the email to Ali itself, and then what will happen? Ali can actually go into the mobile device and open up the door, so through his mobile app. So there's a page on the mobile app which you can click open door, and it will trigger the SafeClock to open the door remotely. Even if it's not, let's say he's home, he's expecting a delivery or he's expecting a visitor and he's late, he wants to open the door in advance, he can do that. So this will be actually more useful for, let's say, if a huge premise, right? Imagine you can install one in maybe north side of your factory, and then you have another one east side. You happen to be east side. You can't go to the other side to open the door. You can actually remotely open that door through your mobile app.
All right, cool. So we have a little bit more time. So you guys, if you have questions, just go ahead and send them in the Q&A box right now. We have about, give or take, 4 minutes. So get typing, you guys. I think it was a very interesting session here. And I think it's super cool. It's something which we haven't really seen so far. So you've got something really good going on.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gone through a lot of research and R&D on our end. We've looked at, we don't really, I mean, this COVID has provided, we were looking at the pains that companies are facing, and we decided, we spent quite a bit of our resources actually on innovation. So the good thing about cloud-based system, what you invest today is not going to be what you're going to have tomorrow. As long as you're continuously a client of ours, we will be continuously enhancing the system, providing more features, so that over time you will get all the latest updates and upgrades, right? No longer like the systems in the past, which you buy through a CD-ROM, install it, and the CD-ROM that you buy will be the same system that you use until you do a major upgrade. for us, our platform is constantly upgrading. So what you have tomorrow will be definitely be more powerful, and we'll be able to cater as we add on new features in there. We didn't, for example, door opening was not available about 6 months ago. We just set it up.
I know, right? And to think like we've come so far from the CD-ROM era.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
I got another answer. I think another
Yep.
question came in.
Yep. Sure. So this one's from Daniel. Daniel says, "How can JustLogin simplify? Okay, how can JustLogin simplify the employee submitting expense claim, especially if it auto detects mileage for the employee's drive?"
Yeah, so for expense claim itself, we have actually another app for it. There's app for everything. So there's an app for it that allows you to scan a receipt, right? It will be able to recognize the receipt that's in the figure from the receipt. So it will be able to capture, like say, who the maybe which vendor, which shop you went to, right? Which supplier that you bought from, and the amount. And it will pre-fill this through the AI engine. It will recognize the receipt and pre-fill some key particulars that you can capture, you can recognize, and pre-fill it into expense report, right? So all this done through the app. Do a quick photo scan. It sends it into your pre-fill those data. You just have to maybe tell it which category is it for. Is it for entertainment? Which then again will be could be synced to your zero, what have you, whether it's entertainment, whether it's transport, and so forth. And we actually now have a feature for mileage claim. So if you've got employees who drive, you can set a mileage claim mileage claim amount, that's km, let's say 3 ringgit per km, something like that, up to you to set, and then trigger the GPS. And when you start driving, you go to the endpoint, it'll tell you how much mileage is being used and do it X times 3 ringgit and gives you the final amount, and that will be the claim. This is all done within the mobile app itself. So this will be something that is worth considering. I mean, this will be in the future. And again, this wasn't available 6 months ago. It's now available on our mobile app.
All right. Absolutely super. Now, Chiou, before I let you go, what are your plans? Can you tell us a little bit more of what people can expect from JustLogin for, let's say, the next 6 months or following year?
Sure. So I have to admit, we have not been in the Malaysia market for too long. We just started our operation maybe the last 6 months, all right? But we are in the process of getting our application LHDN approved. We should be happening at the end of the month. We are looking right now for partners to work with. We are we're encouraging customers to reach out if they're interested to explore, and we will be very happy to help you through this journey. So for us, there is going to be more development going on. I mean, we are in the process of looking into other interesting development, especially in around areas of digitizing your payroll with all these new digital wallets coming out. We're looking into that area. So I think you're seeing a more exciting development from us. So hopefully you will be able to see more from us going forward.
All right,
Sorry, was I cut
absolutely.
off? Because I got a phone that came in.
Yeah, he just stopped for a minute. That's why I was like wondering
Yeah.
if everything was okay. But we're excited to see what you guys come up with, in the future. And we'd like to wish you the very best, going forward. And thank you so much for joining us here at the SMA Digital Fest 2021. So thank you, and hopefully I'll see you again.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
Bye-bye.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.